Hey guys, it's Isabel, and today I'm going to be doing the A Writer's Life for Me tag, which was originally created by Sarah Ella and Sarah Crawford. This tag sounded like so much fun. It is a tag for writers or aspiring writers, and I really wanted to do this because I talk about other people's books a lot on this channel, obviously, but I haven't really got to talk to you guys or tell you about me as a writer, and I don't know if any of you know that I am actually an aspiring author and an aspiring writer who is working on some novels and stuff that I am really excited about, and hopefully one day when we get past, the whole actual writing process, will be good enough to be published. This tag consists of questions about your writing and your writing style and fun stuff like that, so let's go ahead and get started. Number 1 is, what kind of writer are you? I am a romance, paranormal, fantasy writer. That is my favorite stuff to read, and that's what I would really like to write. I am kind of in development with my dad on writing something that's kind of like dystopian political, and it would be a lot of fun to write. I'm a huge history, buff, and I love history, so I think it'd be kind of cool to write something about, the government and politics and stuff, and maybe even write like a historical fiction book one day. But as of stuff I'm really working on now, and would like to write, and is my favorite to write and genre to, read, it's, fantasy, mythical, stuff like that. 2 is, when did you start writing and what made you want to try it? I started writing about 2-3 years ago, and I started writing, and I wanted to start writing because I wrote a fan fiction for my favorite book series, The Mortal Instrument, Soothe Heavenly Fire, and getting comments on that from a lot of people saying that they really liked my work and what I was writing, the story I was creating, and getting a lot of good feedback from friends and family made me want to pursue my writing and see where it went, and I found out that I was good at it, so I decided that I would keep writing, and I've been writing about for 3 years now, and I've definitely gotten a lot better, and I found a love for it, and that's why I want to be an author. Number 3 is, what inspires your story? A lot of different stuff inspires my stories. I don't have a particular place that I get ideas, and they don't always just come to me. The one I'm working on now, I'm really focusing on, the book I'm really focusing on, it was inspired by TV shows and a movie. Basically, Halloween Town on Disney was playing, and I just finished the season Coven of AHS, and just with all that running in my head and the story of witches, and I live near New Orleans, I got really inspired to write a story about witches and all that. So I don't want to give too much away yet. I might talk about it later. I don't know. But that's sort of the basis of it, and so that's where I get inspiration, is like TV shows and stuff. Sometimes it's music or just things happening in the world that I see that I feel like I could talk about in a cool way. TV shows again, music videos, other books, just sort of like bringing up ideas that I like to touch on in my own way and things like that. So I get inspiration from a lot of places, and just things around me going on that just sort of happen, or things people tell me about, and I just get ideas to write stuff about that, so it's from a lot of places. 4, what themes do you like to explore in your writing? I kind of like to explore a lot of different angles on relationships with people and romance, but a thing that I really kind of want to touch on, and a theme I kind of want to bring about, is really focusing on darker characters. I've read a lot of books with characters who sort of have a dark past, but never really with a character who sort of has a dark personality or persona. I'm very into, rock music and sort of darker backgrounds and like shows and, music and things like that really are sort of in the genre of people who come from very, dark backgrounds of, depression, things like that I really want to, highlight in my books, and work with characters who go through things like that and can relate to things like that. I don't find there's a lot of books with characters who are sort of, teenagers that are into, that are, I guess you could say, like punk or emo in a way, but more of like that style, but on a scale of going through things like depression, and maybe characters that, you know, could be suicidal or go through things in life that lead them to sort of be in depressed states or go through a relationship, things like that. So I want to explore those themes and characters who go through things like that, since I don't see them a lot in young adult, just sort of, you know, going through emotions like that and times like that, sort of with, you know, figuring out who you are as a person and kind of being in this genre personality lifestyle thing, if that makes any sense without making me sound crazy. 5, are you a pantser, a plotter, or a little bit of both? When I first started writing, I was a bit more of a pantser. I just kind of wrote and saw what happened and came up with things along the way. When I did my fan fiction, I plotted in a way, and it really helped. And when I did my Elements one, really did not plot at all, or when I started it, it's just a lot of pantsing, and I was being a pantser. And just from hearing a lot of authors talk about their writing process, and a lot of people discuss their writing process, and coming to a thing where I really want to write this book and narrow it down and say, okay, I'm actually going to write this, I have decided to become a plotter, or at least try to be, and I vowed to myself that I will not write a word of this book or even start writing it until I have it plotted out and written out with, you know, note cards or whatever I need. It has to be plotted out all the way, because I've heard too many people say that they were sort of a pantser, and then when they realized it was going nowhere, they had to start over. And, you know, I might end up doing that even if I plot, but the goal is not to have to do that. So I'm gonna try and be a plotter. I'm a bit of a pantser. My pantser ways might carry over into my plotting ways. Hopefully I can plot effectively enough to, you know, write a book well, but I'm also not a crazy plotter like some people where everything is laid out. I kind of just want the bare minimum edge of my book to be plotted out in a way to where I can sort of go in and pants and things in a way. 6 is, where are you at in your journey? Are you writing, publishing, agenting, terms like that? I am plotting for a book that I have to write. I'm nowhere near even putting a query letter together, or typing a synopsis, or talking to agents or anybody like that. I have a long way to go before that, which is okay, and I'm excited for all that to hopefully happen, but, you know, I have to get there first. I have to actually write. So in my process now, it's a lot of writing and plotting and putting together. I'm nowhere near publishing. 7, have you entered any writing contests, and have you won them or gotten some sort of recognition for them? I think in 4th grade I wrote a poem and I got an award for that, but recently, no. 8 is, who are your writer heroes? All of my favorite authors: Cassandra Clare, Alexandra Bracken, J.K. Rowling, Michelle Hodkin, Leigh Bardugo, Sarah J. Maas, just fantastic authors that I've read and really love and aspire to be. But my writing heroes are also a lot of my friends or people that I follow that I know are writing, and I see them, you know, I watch their videos and see their posts and stuff, where they sort of have their personal look on the things they're writing, and just seeing them be so strong and courageous to continue to write and to be first-time authors and try and get published really makes them sort of my writing heroes, because, you know, seeing them start from the beginning helps me to kind of think like, hey, I can do this too, because I'm able to follow them along and see them go through those things that I'm going through. Number 10 is, top 3 tips that you would give to newbie writers. 1, I would say, is really work on developing your ideas and plotting out things like I'm trying to do. I've heard from a lot of people it helps, and I can definitely say from somewhat of an experience plotting and putting things together like that, that it really helps. You know, if you have an idea, sit down and really work it out and think about it a lot. You have to put a lot of thought and time into thinking about your book and writing. 2, always have pen, paper, notepads, something around, because you're gonna get an idea or a character or a plot or something that you're gonna have to write down or want to, or you will forget, and you need that there to write it down, because sadly I've had ideas or things I want to jot down and I don't have that around me, and so I'm running around trying to find something so I can write it down, so I will have it there later, or else I will forget, and normally, of course, all these ideas would finally come to me when I'm not even around a pen and paper to write them down. 3, I would say, is ultimately write for you. You know, in a way, some authors sometimes eventually do have to think about the audience that they're writing to and the fans and stuff, but you know, right now, if you're a newbie author and you're just starting out and you're wanting to get into writing, it's really important right now to not think about what everyone else is going to think about the book or what they want to happen or who they want the characters to be. It's about you and what you want to write in the story that you want to tell. And I've seen some people that are starting out on books and they're very involved with a lot of other people, and it's sort of altering their story, and that's not a way that I would recommend or a way I want to go. I'm going to write the book for me, and I'm going to write what I want to write, and that's, I guess, the advice I would give to you, because ultimately in the end is you're not going to be happy with something that is really not a part of you or that you didn't come up with or you don't want. I mean, you're not even going to be able to write it or want to write it if it's not. So I would say write for you. And since this is a tag, of course I have to tag some people. I'm going to be tagging Coffee, Reading, and Writing. Both of those ladies are amazing and they are working on novels now. I am tagging TwoBookTeens. Maddie and Gabby are both working on books and are aspiring writers. So that was the A Writer's Life for Me tag. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and that you are interested in work I have to come. It's still long in development, but if you can remember this and stick around till that book comes out, yay you. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I will see you all next time. Bye!